In this lecture, we are going to solve a problem on simply supported beam that is subjected to uniformly distributed load. So this is the given problem. A 10-meter long simply supported beam carries two point loads of 10 kilonewton and 6 kilonewton at 2 meter and 9 meter respectively from the left end. So the simply supported beam carries two point loads of 10 kilonewton and 6 kilonewton at a distance of 2 meter, and the overall length is 9 meter from the left end. So the overall length of the beam is 10 meter. It also carries a uniformly distributed load of 4 kilonewton per meter run for the length between 4 to 7 meter. So between 4 meter and 7 meter, it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load of 4 kilonewton per meter. Draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So if you look into the picture, then this beam is subjected to point load and uniformly distributed load. So since the beam is supported at two ends, so it will have two reaction forces. One is RA and the another one is RB at the ends. So first we'll start with the calculation of reaction force. So for calculating the reaction force, we have two equations. One is the total upward force is equal to the total downward force, and the second one is moment about the left extreme point is equal to 0. So the total upward force is equal to total downward force. The total upward force is RA plus RB is equal to 10. So here it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load. So if I convert this into a point load, then this will be acting like this. Its magnitude is 4 into 3, that is equal to 12, and the distance will be 1.5 meter from the D point. Okay, so it is plus 12 then plus 6. Okay, so that is equal to 28 kilo Newton. Then the second equation is moment about the left extreme point is equal to 0. So we'll take the moment about point A, that is consider MA is equal to 0. So we'll start from the reaction force RB into the overall length of the beam. It is 2, 4, 7, 9 and 10. So RB into 10, and it is acting in the clockwise direction. So it is, counterclockwise direction. So it is positive. Then minus the 6 kilonewton is acting in the counterclockwise direction. So it is minus. So it is 6 into 9. Then minus the uniformly distributed load magnitude is 12 into the distance is 2 plus 2, it's 4 plus 1.5. So it is 12 into 5.5, then minus 10 into 2, that is equal to 0. So if we solve this equation, then we will get RB is equal to 14 kilonewton. So now we can substitute the RB value here and we can calculate the RA value, that is equal to 14 kilonewton. So now we have calculated the RA value and RB value. Now we can go to the calculation of shear force. Okay, so first I have splitted it into sections, section AC, CD, DE, EF and FB. Okay, so first I have considered section AC. In that FA is equal to, so a point load is acting in the upward direction, so that is RA. So that is plus 14 kilonewton. Then FC, so when you consider section AC, FC is just before the point load is applied. So FC is equal to again the same magnitude 14 kilonewton. So this is without point load. Then consider section CD. So now we have FC. So this is with considering point load because this is just above the after the point load is applied. So already we have 14 then a point load is acting in the downward direction, so it is minus 10, that is equal to 4 kilonewton. Then Fd is equal to, so this is just before the section D, so Fd is equal to, already we have 4 and there is no force is acting, so it is 4 kilonewton. Then consider section DE. Now Fd is equal to, since there is no point load is acting, the two shear forces will be equal. There will be no change. So again Fd is equal to 4 kilonewton because there is no point load is acting at D. Then Fe is equal to, so here a UDL is acting in between D and E and its magnitude is 12. So it is 4 minus 12 is equal to minus 8 kilonewton. So this Fe is just before the E, and when you consider section EF, then again the next Fe is equal to, there is no point load is acting at the section E, so there will be no change. You will have the equal shear force, that is minus 8 kilonewton. Then consider section F. So it is F is equal to, so first without point load, so you will have the same magnitude, that is minus 8 kilonewton. Then section FB, so we'll start with F. So here this is just after the point load is applied, so we have to consider the point load. So already we have minus 8 and minus 6 is acting in the opposite direction. Okay, so that is equal to minus 14 kilonewton. Then FB, so this is just before the reaction force or point load is applied. So FB is again the same because there is no load is acting. So minus 14 kilonewton. If the point load is applied, then it will come to 0. Okay, fine. So now we'll draw the shear force diagram. So Fa is 14, it is plus 14 kilonewton, it is 14 kilonewton. Then Fc, we have two values. The first value is 14 kilonewton, it is 14 kilonewton, and the second value is 4 kilonewton. We can see that we have two values, 14 and 4. Then Fd is 4 kilonewton. The next value is also 4, fine. Then go to Fe. Fe is minus 8 kilonewton. Okay, so this is minus 8 kilonewton. Then the next Fe value is also equal, minus 8, so there is no change. Then Ff is minus 8 kilonewton. So Ff is also minus 8 kilonewton. Then the next Ff value is minus 14. Okay, minus 8 and it is minus 14 kilonewton. And Fb is also 14 kilonewton. So now we can connect this. So remember that in the section DE we have a uniformly distributed load. So in case of uniformly distributed load, the shear force will be a inclined linear line. If there is a point load, then it's a straight line. Okay, so from 14 it reduced to 4. Then from 4 to minus 8 it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load. So it's a inclined straight line. Then here it's a straight line. Then from minus 8 it reduced to minus 14. And from minus 14 it is minus 14 again. So this is the shear force diagram of the given drawing. Okay, now we'll move into the bending moment diagram. So for calculating the bending moment diagram, we have the reaction forces. Ra is 14 kilonewton and Rb is also 14 kilonewton. And this is point load of 4 into 3, that is equal to 12 kilonewton at a distance of 1.5. Okay, so we'll calculate the bending moment from B, that is MB is equal to 0 because there is no force is acting at the right side. then MF is equal to, this reaction force is acting, so the magnitude is 14 and this distance is 1 meter. Since it is acting in the counterclockwise direction, it is considered as positive. So this is 14 kilonewton meter. Then ME is equal to 14 into the distance is 2 plus 1 is 3. Then it is acting in the counterclockwise direction, so positive. Then this 6 kilonewton is acting at a distance of 2 when you consider point E. So it is 6 into 2 and it is acting in the clockwise direction, so it is minus. That is equal to 30 kilonewton meter. Then MD is equal to 14 into the distance is 3, 4, 5, 6. Then minus 6 into 3 plus 2 is 5. Then the UDL 12 kilonewton, so it is 12 into the distance is 1.5 from D. It is 1.5. So that is equal to 38 kilonewton meter. Sorry, it is 36 kilonewton meter. Then MC is equal to, it is 14 into 8, then minus 6 into the distance is 3, 5 and 7, then minus 12 into 3.5. So that is equal to 28 kilonewton meter. Then finally MA will be equal to 0 because the bending moment is 0 at the extreme points. Okay, fine. So now one more point we have to calculate it, that is the point of counterflexure. So here if you see that at this point the shear force is 0. So when the shear force is 0, then the bending moment will be maximum at that point. So we have to calculate the point at which the shear force is 0 to calculate the maximum bending moment. Okay, so now to calculate the shear force at this point, let me consider this as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I am going to consider this distance as X. Okay, so the shear force is 0 at this point. So we have to calculate the distance X to find out the maximum bending moment. So when the shear force is 0, the bending moment will be maximum. So the shear force at G, F is equal to G is equal to 0. So that is equal to the shear force at point D, FD is equal to 4 kilonewton. If you see the image, it is 4 kilonewton. So at G, this uniformly distributed load is acting at a distance of X. So we already have the 4 kilonewton and it is minus of the magnitude of the uniformly distributed load is 4 kilonewton and the distance I have considered as X. So it is minus 4 into X is equal to 0. Okay, so remember that the FG point lies between point D and E. Okay, so we have the bending moment at DS 4 kilonewton and after the 4 kilonewton in between D and G, the UDL is acting, and since I have considered the distance as X, the magnitude is 4 into X, so that is equal to 0. Then further I can calculate the X value as X is equal to 1 meter. Okay, so this X value is 1 meter. So at this point the bending moment is maximum. So I am going to calculate the bending moment point in at this location. So at the point G in between 1 meter. Okay, so MG also I have to calculate. So mg is equal to, about this point I am going to calculate the bending moment. So if this is 1 meter, then the remaining distance is 2 meters. Okay, fine. So we'll start from the right side. It is 14 into the distance is 1 plus 2 plus 2, it is 4, 5. So 14 into 5, then minus 6 into the distance is 2 into 2, it is 4 meter. Then minus of, so for this 2 meter, the uniformly distributed load is acting since I am calculating at this location. Okay, so remember that I have considered another point, that is G point. Fine. So minus, the magnitude is 4, so you can draw like this. So this is section GE. So it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load of 4 kilonewton. The distance is 2 meter. Okay. So if I convert this into a point load, then it will be 4 into 2 and it will act at a distance of 1 meter from the G point. So it is 4 into 2 is 8, that is the magnitude. So this is 8 into the distance is 1 meter. Okay. So 14 into 5 is for the reaction force, 6 is this point load, and this 8 into 1 is for the reaction, the UDL that is acting in between G and E. Okay. So this is equal to 38 kilonewton meter. So you can see that this 38 is the maximum. Okay. So from this you can conclude that when the shear force is 0, the bending moment will be maximum. Okay, so keep that in mind, and in that point you have to calculate the bending moment. Okay, so let me draw the bending moment diagram now. At B, the bending moment is 0. At F, the bending moment is 14 kilonewton meter. So here it is 14 kilonewton meter. At E, it is 30 kilonewton meter. So at E, it is 30 kilonewton meter. At D, it is 36 kilonewton meter. At D, it is 36 kilonewton meter. Then at C, it is 28 kilonewton. It is 28 kilonewton meter. And at A, it is 0. Finally, at point G, it is 38 kilonewton meter. So here, at this point, it is 38 kilonewton meter. Okay. So in the section DE, it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load. So here it will be a parabolic. So here it's a parabolic from D to G, and from G to E it's a parabolic. So in the remaining regions it is a linear line. So from here it's a linear line, and here it is another linear line. Then this is linear, this is again linear. Okay, so you can write that this is linear, this is linear, this is parabolic, this is parabolic, this is linear, and finally it is also linear. Okay, so this is the bending moment diagram for the given drawing. So about this problem, one point is very important. We have to calculate the point of contraflexion. Okay, so that is at the point where the shear force is 0. So I have considered the distance as x. So at FD it is 4 kilonewton. So I have subtracted the 4 into x, that is the UDL acting in this region with the previous point, and I have calculated the x value. Okay, and also we have to calculate the bending moment at the G point. So while calculating the bending moment, just considered the bending, UDL acting in the right side of the point G. Okay, so you can neglect the left side. So this is my G and E. So if I consider the G and E alone, the distance is 2 meter because the x value is 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So it will be acting in the center. The magnitude is 4 into the distance 2, and it will act in the center distance. So it is 2 divided by 2 is 1 meter. So that is why here it is 8 into 1 meter. So this is because of UDL. And while drawing the bending moment diagram, in the section UDL, it is parabolic. In the remaining region, it is a linear line. Okay, fine. So this is the tutorial problem. A 12-meter long simply supported beam carries a point load of 40 kilonewton at 3 meters. So you can draw a simple diagram. It is simply supported and the distance is 12 meter. It carries a point load of 40 kilonewton at 3 meter from the left end. Okay, so from 3 meter from the left end, it is subjected to 40 kilonewton. The distance is 3 meter. And a uniformly distributed load of 10 kilonewton per meter on the right half of the span. So from 6 meter to 12 meter, it is subjected to a UDL of 10 kilonewton per meter starting from the 6 meter. So draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So here I can consider A, B, C and D. Okay, so if the shear force is 0 at any point, definitely you will have shear force at 0 at any one point. So that you can consider as A, B, C, D, E. So, and the distance is X. Okay, so first calculate X using this method. So at that point, the shear force is 0. So consider the UDL as into X and you can calculate the distance. And finally, after calculating the distance, you can calculate the bending moment at this location.